What's up, bro? Good to see you. How you doing today? It's a beautiful day out here, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful day. If you're watching this video, you are probably around 20 to 23-ish or something like that. You might be older, you might be younger, but in this video, I wanted to really talk about some of the mistakes that I made when I was 21, 22, and I really want to save you from making those same mistakes. I don't want you to end up in going down the rabbit hole that I went down when I was about 22, 23, setting myself up for failure and not being successful. So here we go. Number one, first things first, when you are 22, 23 years old, that's a very important time in your life. You're 21, you're 22. That is the time when you should be setting yourself up for success and developing yourself as a man so that you can one day have a wife and children and lead your family, set an example for your younger siblings and stuff like that. So the first mistake that I made when I was about 22, I got into my first serious, committed relationship. And let me just say that I was very, very enamored with this person. I was in love. I felt those chemicals of the dopamine and the serotonin that the serotonin that comes from when you love somebody and you think you met the woman of your life, and oh, now I want to marry this person. I want to get married. Little did I know this was the wrong person. I was with the wrong person. For whatever reason, this relationship, it didn't work out. It wasn't what I thought it was. It didn't turn out. I thought I saw something. I thought that was like an animal or something. It didn't turn out the way that I was hoping that it was going to turn out. There were just several flaws in it, and I was with the wrong person. A lot of times when you are young, you don't really know how to look for the right woman. And in future videos, I'm going to talk about how you can pick the right woman and the wrong woman for you or whatever. And it's not that it's a bad woman or it's not she's not a good person. It's that she wasn't the right person for me. We weren't compatible. And a lot of times you choose the wrong person that's not compatible with you. And when you are in a toxic relationship and something that really just makes it harder for you to recover as a person and grow. And because when you're in that traumatic cycle, and even after the relationship, it goes on for a long time, and you're trying to unlearn those toxic patterns that you were involved with when you were with that person. And it's all right to love that person from a distance, but when you're young, it's important that you develop yourself, work on yourself as a person, work on learning new things, experiencing new things, and setting yourself up for success. So when you are about 25, 26, by the time you're 30, you have a lot of money. You don't have to stress about, getting your rent paid or paying for your car, or how am I going to make the money today? How are we going to eat tonight? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? Trying to be on your own when you're so young, when you're like 22, 23, when you could be living with your parents and trying to figure things out and setting yourself up for long-term success instead of just short-term, just going out here and being on your own and having what you're literally doing, you're trying to move out of your parents' house because you're already working a toxic job that you hate, something you don't want. You don't even want to do that with the rest of your life. You're literally doing that just to move out, be on your own, and do the same exact thing. And in your life, you're still going to hate your life. It's going to suck. There's no point in doing that. So number one is try not to be in a committed relationship when you were very young. Just take it slow. Take it slow. Don't rush things. Understand your value. don't stay in that relationship. Now, if it's the right person, it's gonna be hard to know if it's the right person, because when you're young, you just don't know. You just don't really understand life at all. You have no experience. You don't know anything. But I guess it's actually good to go through that, toxic relationship, because 9 times out of 10, most likely, unless you're really lucky, you're gonna have to go through a toxic. I'm not gonna say you're gonna have to, but you don't learn until you go through something. Pain is the greatest teacher. We learn the most through our pain. So don't be in a committed relationship when you're young. Focus on yourself. Focus on your wealth. Focus on building yourself up, leveling up, because you're competing with other men too. Because that's why you should stay out of these relationships at the moment, because the woman, she's gonna leave you for the next man who she thinks is better. She's gonna go to where the grass is greener on the other side. As soon as y'all start having a problem together, when y'all have an issue in y'all's relationship, guess what she's gonna do? She's gonna go somewhere else and seek pleasure from another man. She's gonna talk to her friends, her family, her mother, her father, or whatever, and they're gonna talk down the relationship, and eventually she's gonna end up leaving you because she doesn't feel that you're good enough for her. That's why you have to build yourself up to that level, so that you are good enough, so that you are actually confident in yourself. Don't take disrespect from anybody. Number 2 is never, ever, ever let anybody disrespect you. Never let anybody push you around. Never let anybody treat you like dirt. Always love yourself and know that you are enough. If somebody doesn't want to be in your life, if somebody doesn't want to be a part of what you have going on, cut them to the side. Let them go. Don't surround yourself around people that mean you no good. People that want to bring you down, people that want to hurt you, people that disrespect you, call you names, just make fun of you. You don't gotta be around those people. You deserve better than that. You have to love yourself enough to know that you don't have to put up with it. As a youngin, when I was like 21, 20, I used to, I've had many friends over the years, and if you're watching this video, you're gonna know. I used to let my friends make fun of me. I used to let my friends disrespect me, call me names, and do stuff. And it's no shade to them, but I really deserve. Okay, now there's a fine line between, because as men, we're gonna criticize each other. We're gonna, make fun of each other just out of love, just out of to see us grow. But you have some friends that just basically disrespect you, or just basically straight up assholes to you for no apparent reason. They don't really agree with what you're doing with your life, so they try to put you down for the path that you want to take and demonize you for it. But we're all different. We all have different paths. We're not all going to agree on the same thing. And that's what I had to understand, is that it's okay if people don't agree with me. It's okay if people have a different viewpoint than I do. It's okay. Don't allow anybody to disrespect you at a job, especially at jobs, especially at school type deal. If you have a manager, your manager is disrespecting you, belittling you, making you feel less than who you are, you will not allow them to talk to you like that. What you say is, listen, you are not going to talk to me like that. I will not tolerate that disrespect. Now, you don't have to lose your job over it, but you have to realize any job or any money isn't worth your respect. You as a person, you are valuable. Because at the end of the day, this short-term money is not worth your long-term success, your long-term financial well-being, your long-term peace, your long-term joy. Is not worth it. You just cut the losses. Just cut it. It feels so good when you cut those losses from things that you don't need in your life. You don't need those things in your life. Okay. I didn't actually write a script or anything. I just literally said I'm gonna come out here and start recording. I said I want to talk about the things that I did when I was young that I wish I wouldn't have done, things I wished I would have done differently. And I didn't write a script or anything, so I'm not really prepared. I'm prepared. I'm just recording the video. That's it. So, what the? That was kind of weird. I don't know if you heard that or not, but yeah. So, number 3, if I can remember it correctly. Now, they say to save your money and stuff like that, and that's kind of what I'm about to say for this one, but not exactly save money. So, as a young man, throughout my life, when I was 21, when I was 18, when I was 19, whatever, up until I started becoming more mature, I spent money on a lot of worthless, on a lot of things. Like, I basically just wasted my money on things that were not beneficial to my growth and to helping me become who I am today. I spent money on fast food all the time. I would get Arby's, I get Chick-fil-A, me and my friends, we would go out to eat and we would get food together. We would all just eat out to eat almost every other day, every weekend. Spending money, spending money, spending money, spending money. I spent countless amounts of money on the studio, which isn't a waste of time. I make music. I'm a music artist, actually. So that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you have to put your money in the right places. So what I decided to do, since I really love to make music, I got interested. I took this interest in recording music and stuff, and engineering and the production of my own beats, making beats basically. Production and engineering. People often get it really mixed up, but I took interest in both of those things, and designing sounds and just playing instruments and stuff like that. And what I did was I ended up, instead of going to the studio and spending money on the studio, I invested in my own studio equipment. So then whenever I want to record something, I just record it myself. I'm not paying nobody any money to, of course I'm investing money into, plugins and, my mic and the equipment, the physical equipment that I got to use and all the stuff on the computer, right? To make the record sound really good, of course. But other than that, that's like a one-time thing. So you put the money into that, but you don't have to keep going back to people over and over again. And I actually started having people come record, at my studio and stuff like that. I kind of had my own home studio, and I let people come record, and I basically basically heard somebody talking. I lost my train of thought there. So I began to fall in love with that, and that's the point I was getting to. When you're going to the studio, when you're spending money on the studio and everything, if you just invest some of your money into your own equipment and doing the sound engineering yourself, you just save so much money. And it actually makes more sense, because as a music artist, it's not easy to make money as an artist. It's really not easy. You're gonna have to go on tour, performing. I'm not really into being a music artist anymore, though I am working on music though, but I'm not into it as I used to be. I used to be really into the music artist thing, but when you're a producer and you know how to engineer your own sound and everything, you make a lot more money, and you're an artist too. So you make money. That's something you may want to consider doing. Look, right now, you're probably 21, you're probably 20, you're 22, right? And you're probably like, well, that's not what I want to do. I couldn't see myself making beats or being an engineer. And I basically said the same thing when I was that age. I was like, well, I probably couldn't do it, but look at me now. And when you start out, you're not as good. You're basically trash, right? You make trash beats and you sound horrible. You mix horrible. You start out with the stock plugins and everything. But as you progress and you keep going and going, it gets so much better. You get so much better at your craft the more you perfect it. So if you are interested in that, definitely hit me for one-on-one coaching. I can show you how to make beats and engineer. But okay, and something else that I was gonna add in is that I wasted my money. I wasted a lot of time and money. Now, time is the most important thing that you can waste. Money, you can get the money back. You can make the money back. Who really cares about the money so much? But the time is what's really the thing that it gets wasted. And when in this same relationship that I was talking about, we used to go across the whole country. We used to go to Paris. We used to go to Europe. We went, I gotta sugarcoat a little bit. I gotta spice it up a little bit. I'm just playing. We didn't go to no Paris and we didn't go to Hawaii and all that stuff. But we traveled a lot. We went everywhere, literally everywhere. And that, it was a lot of fun. But like I said, my wallet felt the pain. My wallet felt that pain. And I wasted all that money and all that time doing that stuff, and I could have been working on myself. And it's not really so much of that I dislike the experience that I had. I love the experience. I'm glad that we both got to experience what we experienced, but it was with the wrong person. Like I said, when you do all these things with the wrong person, this goes back to number one. When you're in a relationship, make sure it's the right person. Make sure it's the right person, because when you're spending a bunch of time with somebody and you're investing all that and it's the wrong person, it can really make you feel like your life is over, like you just lost everything. But that's where this self-improvement comes in. That's why working on yourself is important, because when you know who you are and you understand your worth, a relationship won't, bring you down to a relationship can really make or break you. It's very important that you choose the right person. Very, very important. And it's really about choosing the right people to have around you, for the most part. And I'm trying to make sure I didn't leave anything out. I have one last life lesson. I'm gonna make a part 2 on this, because I know after I finish making this video, I'm gonna come up with more things. Now, number 4, just don't let anybody else dictate what you do with your life. Don't let anybody else's opinions make you decide, oh, I'm not gonna pursue my dreams. I I was always an entrepreneur at heart. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I never really 100% realized that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. When I was working at these 9-to-5 jobs, when I was working at several different jobs, and I was unhappy there, I would say it's even more than I was actually miserable. Most of the time, your job is mundane, it's boring. You just want to go home and chill and stuff like that. Go play video games or, what's that, pollen? I don't need to be sneezing today. My throat's parched. I'm gonna have to get some water pretty soon here. But when you are, I hate it when I forget what I'm saying. Don't click off the video yet. Don't click off yet. Let me just remember what I'm saying. Hold on. Give me 1 second. That's right. I was talking about entrepreneurship and starting a YouTube channel and all that. So I knew that I wanted to become an entrepreneur, but that's why I was so unhappy at these jobs, and I was so miserable, and I hated my life. And for the longest amount of time, I stayed in these situations because I was so worried about what everybody else was going to think. Oh, look at him. He's a bum. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't work for he's not working for the government. He's not working for Sam or whatever. He's He's just doing his own thing. And nowadays, we demonize people who do their own thing and who want to have their own business because we see it as like you're not a good person, you're a scammer, or you're a bad person just because you want to work for yourself. Most people look at it that way, and that's because they have small goals. They have small energy. I don't want to say the other word, but you know what I'm trying to get at here. They have small energy, and the person that I was with, like that's why you have to be careful with who you're with, who you're around, because the people that I was with, basically just they discouraged me from pursuing my true goals, like what I really wanted to do. Most people just push me towards, nope, do what's realistic, right? Go get you a regular job, go to school, go to college, get your degree, and then go get a regular job or something like that, and you can make what 100K per year or something like that. And the thing is, I was okay with doing that, but it was like at the same time, I knew I was going to be working on my own thing at the same time, because I want more than that. You want more than that. You want to become someone, and and for the goals that you have, if you want to become an entrepreneur, just know that people are going to look at you a different way. They're going to look at you like you're childish, or there's something wrong with you because you have you're not the same as everybody else. You have a different outlook on life than everybody else has. Everybody else has the typical, go to work, come home, and most people aren't even happy who's living that type of lifestyle. You're not even happy. I refuse to be and I refuse to work for somebody else for the rest of my life and then and hate my life. I refuse to do that. Literally. Like, most people complain they don't have time to do anything, but they're not making the time. The way you feel about yourself, the way you feel about your life is literally just a representation of the habits that you've done over the past years. So if you do a lot of great habits and good habits and you get yourself where you want to be, you strive for what you want, you will be happy with your life. But if you keep drinking alcohol and partying and smoking weed, watching porn and doing all these bad habits, and the more you remain mindless, the less happy you're going to be. Because when you're not mindful, you're not happy. You're not in the moment, you're not happy. When you're living in the past or living in the future, you're not at peace with yourself, and that's never a good place to be. So always, always, always understand what you want out of life and go after that goal. For the longest of time, I allowed somebody else to lead me. I never led myself. And that's one of the most important things about becoming a more masculine man, is to lead yourself. Don't allow others to lead you. Be the person that you look up to. Be the person that everybody looks up to. Now, I'm definitely going to make a part 2 because I want to go more into depth. I want to talk about more things here about this one, because this is something that is very deep to me. And I'm going to be releasing future videos and about bad habits that you should stop doing, and that make you mindless and just take away from your everyday life quality and take away from your goals and stuff like that. That email newsletter is down there. Still gonna be posting on that pretty soon, so make sure you subscribe to it. Gonna be very insightful, very deep, and just motivating you to become the best version of yourself. And there is nothing more valuable than that, because I really wish that I had someone to look up to when I was younger, someone that was telling me, hey, you shouldn't do this, instead do this, and actually telling me why and explaining what they went through. A lot of people, and that's what being a leader is about. You literally you talking about the things that you went through and what's gotten you to the place that where you are now. If you would like one-on-one coaching, click the link below. Very great vibe. Just talking friend to friend, man to man, just like an older brother that you never had, or just someone to understand you and help you reach the goals that you are trying to reach and change your life forever. I'm not sure if I said this already, but my name is Raheem the Goat. And if you found this content helpful at all, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And it was great talking to you today. I hope that you reach your goals and get where you want to be in life. And I'm super confident that if you continue to be consistent, you're going to get there for sure. Like always, never give up. Your younger self is rooting for you. Peace out.